I do a medical podcast, and I do TikToks for my medical podcast. Body and Balance 25. On TikTok, it's 25 Body and Balance. And I want to say this. I don't normally go to my mechanic and ask them about financial planning. I don't go to my financial planner and ask the accountant to come out and look at my car. I don't ask my dentist to fix my hair. I just don't. I don't ask them what color I should paint my nails. I ask the experts in those areas. So I don't expect someone of the likes of Robert F. Kennedy, who doesn't have an expertise in medicine at all, in science at all. I don't ask the president of the United States presently to get involved with telling me what I should take for a sinus infection or for any kind of medical advice. I just don't ask them that. And I think that if everybody would stay in their lane, Trump and Robert F. Kennedy are making claims. I'm not so much saying, because I spent the weekend studying and researching studies, reading at least 10 to 12 medical journals and medical studies that were put out on autism. Doesn't necessarily mean it's from Tylenol. So to come out and just tell pregnant women, and then they cut the video off, some of it, with him saying, just don't take Tylenol. Just don't take Tylenol. You can't just make claims like that, and you haven't read or you don't even understand the medical studies. That's my issue with this whole thing, because I feel like had Tylenol known they were going to do that, but Tylenol needed something from them and they paid them enough money, they'd turn around and say something different. And that's the falsehood of this. This is not a Democratic video TikTok. It's not a Republican TikTok. It's a health issue TikTok that we have to understand as leaders within our capacities, that we just don't spout out things. I get on my podcast and I make sure that I say things that I have researched, studied, and learned before I put it out. There's information that I won't even tell you if I don't know that this particular product is really going to work or there's any science behind it. The problem is they're getting rid of all the scientists. They're getting rid of all the people that do the research. They're getting rid of all the people that do the studies. And then they're just making claims, just spouting stuff out. And it causes problems. It causes a mistrust and a distrust. And then you turn around and say, well, go ask your doctor. Well, what the heck can we say if we're fighting against somebody that doesn't even know what they're talking about? Neither one of them have probably even read any of the studies. They haven't read because there's no conclusive evidence that says one study's better than the other. Just stay in your lane.
Former President Obama firing back on Trump's Tylenol claims that they're connected to autism. During a London tour, the former president saying this.
So we had the spectacle of my successor in the Oval Office making broad claims around certain drugs and autism that have been continuously disproved. A lot of what is being trumpeted as these massive increases actually have to do with a broadening of the criteria across that spectrum so that people can actually get services and help, not to, it's all of that is violence against the truth.
So you heard in there saying that basically President Trump was making a spectacle of his successor in the Oval Office and making broad claims around certain drugs. So I think a lot of what, well, we should go, I don't want to read the same quote that he just said, right? So let's keep going. And even Dr. Oz was on TMZ yesterday, and he's like, talk to your doctor about this. We're just putting the information out there so you know, but I think it has to be concrete information because...
Stay in your lane.